So it's going to be a 7:30 kickoff. We'll both be there. And for Scotty Gange, I'm Rob Werner in San Francisco. Cronkite News. There was more history made here last night, well actually this morning, as Ildemaro Vargas sent the Diamondbacks fans home happy at 1:35 this morning with a walk-off single to lift Arizona over St. Louis 3-2 in a 19-inning marathon. Kobe Bryant was absolutely outspoken in his support of women's basketball and the stage he thought it deserved. Yesterday, members of the women's basketball community, including ASU players and Sun Devils head coach Charlie Turner-Thorne, shared their thoughts on what Bryant meant to the women's game. The Cardinals beat the Giants in New York yesterday, and the team is now riding its first 3-game win streak since 2015. The victory yesterday was really a credit to the entire team overall. The defense was absolutely swarming rookie quarterback Daniel Jones, sacking him 8 times. Harrell has a consecutive game streak that rivals Cal Ripken Jr.'s. In fact, last year, he suffered a lower back injury so severe he had to go to the hospital. But on his way to the emergency room, Carson insisted on coming to the Miracle League to play his game first. We start with two Suns players squaring off on the court. Okay, not the actual hardwood, but DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker did go head-to-head, facing off in the final of the NBA Players 2K Challenge on Saturday night. Hi there, and welcome into the House Hard Court. Zach Keenan, Rob Werner, and Zach, Super Bowl Sunday came and went, and for San Francisco, for the 49ers, it seemed like on Groundhog Day they saw a shadow of themselves. The Pac-12 is bad. The football in the Pac-12 is sloppy. The Mountain West is better. You hear this slander to the Pac-12 all the time watching college football, and simply, it's not true. Yes, the Pac-12 doesn't have the absolute best talent in the nation. There's no Alabama, no Clemson, no Ohio State. But the conference does have fantastic competition, and it's certainly entertaining. Other leagues have elite programs, but are so top-heavy. In the SEC right now, look at the talent gap between Alabama and Tennessee. You get my point. Now, the Pac-12 doesn't have a truly dominant force, but you won't find a conference that's more competitively balanced. Have you been watching any Netflix shows or doing any different hobbies that you usually don't want to be doing in the middle of April?
Yeah, really anything that doesn't include being in season, I guess you could put into that category. Yeah, but me and my wife, we've hammered out some Netflix. What's the most recent we watched? We watched Ozarks. We like that show a lot.
This year was definitely a roller coaster with some of the injuries. One point there was only 8 position players. Was it a tougher year than you've seen in the past, just in the work you've had to do behind the scenes?
Well, we were one ankle twist from you playing, so it was a tough run. But you know what, though? That's part of the game.
So your freshman year, your first year of the program, you get to play at Augusta National. I know some of the players have been in this program for 4 years and haven't got to do that. What's it like for you to come in right away and get that opportunity?
So this is my first semester here. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing a lot of things. I'm never relaxing at home, So I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling already part of the team and everything is so fun. So I think this was a great start for me.
Keep an eye on the ball.
He may sound like a coach.
Foul ball.
Or even an umpire, but he's really one of the best players in the Miracle League of Arizona, a baseball program for children and adults with special needs.
Next battle.
He's Carson Harrell, the gentle giant that plays more baseball games with the Miracle League than anyone else. Standing at 6'6", 18-year-old Carson was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder as a baby. His verbal communication skills are extremely limited, but it doesn't seem that way when he's on the field. Carson's father, Dave, says that here at the Dan Heron Field in North Scottsdale, everything slows down for his son.
It's his best place, and it's a lot like this pretty much everywhere he goes, because kids on the autism spectrum typically aren't friendly and outgoing. He is the most social autistic kid I've ever met in my life. His communication is limited. He communicates with smiles.
And smiles are all Carson has when talking about the Miracle League.
Boy, Miracle League is my favorite thing.
Most Miracle Leaguers play 1 game a week. A few play twice. Carson, though, sets the record with 3 each week.
That's right.
And has done so for the last 7 years.
We bring each player a jersey for each one of their teams with their name and number printed on the back. I can guarantee you, after all these years and all the teams he's played on, he's got to have 50 Miracle League jerseys. I wouldn't be surprised if he sleeps in one for pajamas, if he wears one to school.
Carson's love for baseball goes beyond just playing. He also hits homers, and lots of them.
Without question, Carson has hit more home runs than anybody in Miracle League of Arizona history, has played in more games than anybody in our history.
Harrell has a consecutive game streak that rivals Cal Ripken Jr.'s. In fact, last year, he suffered a lower back injury so severe he had to go to the hospital. But on his way to the emergency room, Carson insisted on coming to the Miracle League to play his game first.
Still went 3 for 4. Didn't quite have the power or the speed that day that we're used to from Carson, but he got around the bases, took him a while. Most importantly, kept the streak alive.
He literally could not bend to get in the car. I had to lean the seat back, recline the seat so he could just pour himself into the car to get here.
I call Carson Tigger, like the Winnie the Pooh character, because he's always bouncing. And when he's bouncing, he's happy. And when he's happy, the dude's infectious. Everybody's happy.
It's the purest expression of him being happy.
He doesn't just play ball. Carson also conducts the national anthem and acts as a leader on his team. But more than all that, being a part of the Miracle League allows Carson to show who he really is, even if he can't vocalize it.
Because he can lead through actions, and it isn't always words. You know, usually a leader has to be inspirational. Here it's just infectious. He didn't speak till he was 7. So before he could really speak, everybody thought there really wasn't much going on in there. And now you can see with just the skill level that he has and the ability he has to draw people to him, he has some natural leadership abilities that can be recognized even without the communication.
And when he's on the field, Carson knows what he is.
Champion.
It gives him a place where he can shine. In a world where his communication is limited, where his academics are limited, there's a lot of, hey, he can't do this. There's nothing he can't do at Miracle League. When he comes here and he can be athletic and nobody has to worry about, you know, him communicating and him, you know, justifying and all of that. It's baseball as it was meant to be. It's a game.
The Miracle League has no age limit, so Carson hopes to extend his consecutive game streak for many more years to come. In Scottsdale, Rob Werner, Cronkite Sports Report. The Miracle League has also given Carson other opportunities within the game he loves. This past year, Carson got to throw out the first pitch at a Diamondback spring training game, and he fired a strike. For Sun Devil Source, alongside ASU junior wideout N'Keal Harry, I'm Rob Werner. And N'Keal, we want to ask you about your first touchdown on the road against UTSA, your freshman year. Can you play this video for us? So N'Keal, what do you remember now watching back on this play?
It was really just a burst of adrenaline. I wasn't thinking too much of it. It was just one of those plays where Manny threw it up. He trusted me to come down with it, and it was just kind of natural.
And what was your reaction the first time you saw this play back?
I was kind of like, wow. You know, I dreamt of making plays like that on the college scene, and that was really my first big breakout play in college, so it was really special to me.
You guys made it pretty far, obviously, to the College World Series as a team, Texas Tech. What was it like being a part of that your first year?
It was awesome. Our goal when we started this season was to go to Omaha, and we made it happen. So going there and playing in front of all those people was an awesome experience.
And I know you play some second base and some short stuff for Texas Tech. What's the development like trying to play outfield here a little bit? What's this break from baseball been like for you? How are you handling quarantine after, just about a month?
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you, it sucks. You work all off season for the season to start, especially at the timing that everything kind of got put on hiatus with being right in the middle of spring training. Everybody's starting to ramp up, starting to get excited. It's rough.
So for those of you who don't know, Zach is a huge Star Wars fan, as am I. Zach, I want to know first, what did you think of the ending of The Last Jedi?
I thought it was good. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I really thought that they kind of paid homage where they needed to and kind of started the new story from what it was. So I was a fan.
And then your nickname is Darth Vader. Can you tell us why that became your nickname? Is he your favorite character? How did that start?
Darth Vader's just a classy guy, not classy all the way in all of his morals, but he's just a cool character.
And Augusta National has a long history of being one of the best golf courses in the world, but also excluding women. So how was it for you getting to be among some of the growth of just the sport and seeing women play there?
That was nice. I think that was also fun, because it was so different. You know, women's golf is different from men's golf.
Welcome into the Bourne Braves pregame show. I'm Rob Werner, and right now I'm joined by UConn relief pitcher Jacob Wallace. Jacob, this past year for UConn, you were in the setup role. How did that kind of prepare you to be the closer here?
It made me ready for any situation, honestly.
5 hours and 12 minutes. In that time, you could cook a 22-pound turkey. In 5 hours and 12 minutes, you could drive from Phoenix to Las Vegas. But if you were to bet on ASU baseball's Sunday showdown against Arizona taking that long, you'd better be playing with house money. The series finale was an absolute marathon. And speaking of marathons, 1,900 people completed this year's Phoenix Marathon in under 5 hours and 12 minutes. Ultimately, ASU earned a 17-16 walk-off win to clinch the team's first sweep over the Wildcats since 2009. The end of the Major League Baseball season always comes with some farewells, some positive and some not so much. After 5 years, the Cubs have decided to let go of manager Joe Maddon. Chicago did end its 108-year World Series championship drought in 2016 under Maddon, but has regressed since then and missed the playoffs this season after falling apart in September and finishing the year 2-10 in the team's last 12. Royals manager Ned Yost retired on Sunday, and a true baseball lifer, Bruce Bochy, said his farewell to the game after 44 years of playing and managing. Bochy has managed for the last 25 seasons, most notably carrying the San Francisco Giants to 3 championships in 2010, 2012, and 2014. Bochy said he had to borrow Lou Gehrig's infamous line on Sunday, "I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of this earth." 19-0. That's Arizona State baseball's record following an impressive 3-game sweep over the Washington State Cougars to open up Pac-12 play this weekend. It took a walk-off home run on Saturday night, a 1-run bases-loaded save on Sunday afternoon, but through it all, this team is still perfect. Yeah, this Cal team features an offensive attack led by quarterback Chase Garbus. He had 357 yards and 4 touchdowns to 1 interception last week, his best game of his young career. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Evan Weaver, Cal senior linebacker, he had 22 tackles last week. He leads the Pac-12 in tackles. He's all over the field. I expect him to do the same tonight. The Braves dropped this game 6-1 to Orleans. They finished the season series against Orleans 2-2. Tomorrow they'll take on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks back at Doran Park. We hope you join us then. But right now, for Alexander Moore and Blaine McCormick, I'm your host, Rob Werner, signing off, and we'll see you tomorrow. And Benjamin's very modest. He didn't want to talk too much about records, but wanted to say that the offensive line has been doing a fantastic job lately, and that's what's been enabling him to do so well. But right now, for Sun Devil Source publisher Chris Cartman, I'm Rob Werner. This has been a Sun Devil Source 2-minute drill. So it's going to be a 7:30 kickoff. We'll both be there. And for Scotty Gange, I'm Rob Werner in San Francisco, Cronkite News.